Hi, everyone. Oh, fuck. I'm fine. Give me a second. All right, I'm good. Everything is yippee. How are you all doing? Oh, man. It's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks. Because I took a couple days of extra break. I planned that in from the start. I didn't slouch. I planned to take a couple extra days when I got home, just so that I could, just so that I could relax and emotionally recuperate from being back in my own place, you know? Hello, Atlas. Hello, Emma. Hello, Alden. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Stream got some upgrades, but not really ones that you can see. During the break, I got new headphones, which are mainly gonna help me with music production, but also give me direct monitoring from my microphone, which is pretty cool. So I can actually hear exactly what you guys are hearing. So if I'm ever like blowing into my microphone and I'm blowing up your eardrums, be aware that I'll be blowing up mine too. Twitch is showing no video again. Gonna kill mice in-game. All right, I'll stop the Twitch stream. Thank you for letting me know, Fia. I do apologize. That is something that is sadly out of my control. And on top of that, I have a mic arm now, which means that whenever I go and play piano, I can just move my mic to right here, and now it's at my piano, and I sound the exact same. The tracking doesn't quite work yet, because I don't have my fucking phone secured to my mic arm, so I still have to look to the actual tracking to get that to work, but like, I can play piano now, and because it's on a mic arm, when I'm hitting my piano keys, like, listen to this. I'm gonna mute the music for a second. I'm gonna hit the piano keys to play Megalovania. I'm not actually gonna let you guys hear the piano, but it's gonna be dead fucking quiet. I just played the opening bit of Megalovania on piano. Y'all heard nothing. Y'all heard nothing. Which finally I don't have to fucking mute my microphone whenever I play piano anymore. Like, fuck it, you know what? Let's pull it up really quick. Let's actually pull up piano so I can prove to you guys that this is not me bullshitting. This is actually, I am actually serious about this. Let me switch to right there. There we go. Listen to this. And you're not I'm not muting my microphone, but you're not hearing the piano. You're not hearing me smash the fucking keys anymore because the mic arm has a shock mount in it and I can move it to a place where that just doesn't get picked up. It's so fucking nice. I'm so fucking in love with this, with the upgrades that my setup has gotten. It's so fucking lovely. So yeah, those are things I can do now. So the piano streams are going to be a bit more higher quality, which there will be 2 of them next week for very special reasons that I will talk about in a minute. But first, how's everyone been doing during the 3 weeks I've been gone? What have y'all been up to? Because I've been up to a lot of fun shit. I got a couple fun stories to tell. I got a couple of really, really fun stories to tell. Some shit went down, y'all. They have been weeks, you are aware. They have surely been one of the weeks of all time. That is fucking crazy. Truly one of the Aprils 2024 of all time. God, I was gone for most of April, wasn't I? Yeah, I was. My God. Really feels like I've been away from streaming for like half a year. Like, genuinely. It feels like it's been so long. It really hasn't, but it feels like it's been fucking ages. Finished documenting all the item IDs in the Determination fan game. Fuck yeah, that is what we call high quality autism. Love that. That is some good shit. Oops. I'm still like getting used to like moving my mic arm into the right position a little bit. I'm kind of like testing the waters a bit during this stream. Hopefully, once I've like found a good place to put it, it'll just stay there and I won't ever have to move it. I tend to rotate to the right slightly and then suddenly you hear me significantly less as when I rotate to the left and speak directly into the microphone. Like, listen to the fucking difference when I do that and now listen to me talking directly into it. So I need to like get used to not turning my head as much or like keeping my mouth close to the mic when I'm speaking. Oh God. So, fun fact about these headphones, right? So I got new headphones. I got, specifically for anyone who's curious and is as much of an audio nerd as I am, I got the Beyerdynamics DT770 Pros, specifically the 80 ohm versions. You don't need to know what that means. All you need to know is that these headphones are balanced headphones, meaning that no matter if it's like a very, if there's bass, if there's other instruments, if there's if there's like a lot of like hi-hats and other top-end stuff like white noise, the volume of all of those frequencies is going to be equal. These headphones are meant for music production, so that you can mix and balance your own music as accurately as possible, because otherwise, if your headphones are very bassy, like, you're gonna think that your song has a lot of bass when in reality it really doesn't, right? So these headphones kind of help with that. It's kind of like the, there's a lot of like true tone displays that try to display color as accurately as possible to what it would look like out of a printer, right? Same thing with art, but in this case, it's with music, right? It's as close to the source as possible is how I hear it. But fun fact about these headphones, right? So I'd been talking to Atlas for a while about the fact that I wanted specifically these headphones. And I was gonna order them when I got home, because a new paycheck would come in and I would be able to afford them, right? So I was planning on waiting. The fact that I have these headphones now is not because the delivery was fast, it's because I got them early. There's a shop at the place where Atlas lives called Cash Converters, or Cashies for short. And it's basically like a secondhand everything store, but mostly it's like tech and like electrical appliances. So I am the type of person to just like look in it was a very small one, to just look in the window, see what they have like in their front displays, because it's typically like consoles and stuff like that, and just have a look at it. But then Atlas said to me, oh, they have some headphones inside if you want to go and take a look. And I was like, well, I already know which headphones I want. But I'm always a fan of making fun of shitty headphones. So we went in, and literally the first thing that I see, because they have a very specific look. Like, obviously I can't turn my camera on, but the BAAACK DT770s have a very specific look. I'll see if I can pull up an image. Images. Here it is. Yeah, so this is what they look like. I can't just copy paste it, right? I have to actually download the image? Yeah, I do. It's a WebP. Don't save it as a fucking WebP. What are you, fucking stupid? Save it as a PNG. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my god, why is it so big? There they are. That's what they look like, right? They have a very distinct look. They aren't exactly pretty. They're not ugly, but they're not exactly pretty. Very distinct look. Moment we walk in, I see these immediately. And my brain immediately goes like, well, okay, but surely that's not the 80 ohm version, because there's 3 different versions of these. Oh shit, I just accidentally deleted my model rather than the rather than the headphones. I was like, surely it'll be a different version, right? But no, it wasn't. It was the exact version I was looking for. And I actually had to stop and think about it for a bit. Because as much as buying secondhand stuff is nice, I didn't know if it was the right decision. I didn't know if I should get these secondhand. Because as much as good headphones very much stay good if you take good care of them, like, part of me was like, should I just put in the extra effort? But Cashies has a policy where, first of all, you can like test it before you actually buy it. So they took it out of the locker that it was in, and like I could play around with it a bit, see how it felt. But they have a 12-year warranty. So they were like, you can buy them now, take them back home, and like test them out for a couple of days. And if you think that there's something wrong with them or you don't like them, you don't need to have a reason, you can just come and return them. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll get them. They were about like 35% cheaper than a pair would be new. And like, these aren't exactly cheap headphones. They're not like audiophile, like $4,000 headphones. But like, you know, they're 140, 150 bucks. They're not cheap headphones when they're new. And I got them for just 100. Which, massive fucking steal. Like, genuinely massive steal. Insanely good deal. Really happy with them. But also that does mean that I have now, there is now actual evidence of me having been in a Cashies. Previously, whenever we walked past it, I would always go, oh my god, it's a Cashies. I've never been in a Cashies. And even though I'd walked into it once, there was no actual evidence of me being in there. Because I never bought anything there. Now there is on my bank account, and a receipt in my wallet in case they break. Actual physical evidence of me having been in the cashies, so I can't do that bit anymore now. Yeah, there's no guarantee that the person before you took good care of it. Though, honestly, I have to say, now I've used them for about a week, they feel brand new. Like, I obviously haven't had a brand new pair to compare them against, and I kind of wish that I did. But I don't. I don't have a brand new pair to compare them against, but like, the cushions feel untouched. Like, they feel like they're brand new. The headrest feels untouched, super comfortable. Like, I don't think I've ever had headphones that are more comfortable than these ones. This is probably the most comfortable pair of headphones that I've ever owned. Highly fucking recommend. Cable's nice and long, undamaged, no issues, no weird coiling or anything going on. The headrest adjusts slightly too loosely. I may have to tighten it, but you can just, that's just a screw that you can tighten. So that's not the worst. So yeah, honestly, like, insane purchase. Genuinely insane purchase. And it means I got to test them out a little bit. And then I got this mic arm. I literally ordered it the night I got home from vacation. I was like, you know what? If I've saved 30, 40 bucks off of this pair of headphones, I was gonna spend that anyway, so I might as well spend it on a second upgrade. So now I have a mic arm as well that's nicely attached to my desk. I picked that up yesterday. And it's working great so far. No issues yet. We'll see if that changes, but so far so good. Also, chat, by the way, this is the first of 2 streams today. We're just gonna be chatting for this first hour, or in this case, the remaining 45-ish minutes that we have. But after that, I'm gonna do another stream immediately. People have been begging for me to watch this. I've been trying to remain as spoiler-free from it as possible. Honkai Star Rail did a live concert of a lot of their music this past week to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. And I love Honkai Star Rail. I love their music. But I wanted to watch this live for 2 main reasons. First of all, I feel like as a musician, it would be fun to actually watch that live and like give some commentary. And second of all, a new Honkai Star Rail update is coming out next week, and I want to get the Hoyoverse content rolling on my channel, because once you start making Hoyoverse content, if people watch it, like, your channel just gets buffed for some reason. I call it the Hoyo buff. It is very much real. So I'm gonna react to that to get the Hoyo buff rolling, and then next week on Wednesday, we're gonna actually play the quest. Cloud! Hey, what's up, buddy? Yippee! Yippee! Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Missed you. I've missed all of you, like, legitimately. I was talking to Atlas about this while I was there. Like, as much as I'm sad that I have to return, like, I very much miss having constant stuff to do. Cause, you know, I've been doing this for over 3 months now. Or well, like, obviously I've been streaming for like 6 years, but I haven't been streaming as consistently as I have now. Up until like 3 months ago. So I've been doing this for a while now, and it's really just become like part of my routine at this point, and I kind of miss that. Also, just chat, if you ever become a creator, and this is like legitimate creator advice, if you ever become a creator, don't spend your entire year just sitting inside making content. Or like, just don't spend your entire year on content. I don't think I have had this many creative ideas come to me as I have in the last 2 weeks, just because I've been out of the house, doing stuff with other people, going to see things, going to do things. Like, it really fucking reignites your creative spirit. And it's not just like, I'm not just talking about like YouTubers and streamers. I'm talking about like any type of creative work. If you're in art block, if you're in writer's block, whether that's writing as in words or writing as in music, legitimately, go and do shit. Take a break from your content, go do stuff outside of that, and suddenly you'll have so many more fucking ideas. Like, legitimately. One fucking thing that happened, right? So, okay, I have to give some context to this. So, Zoe, a friend of mine, some of you may know her, also lives in the UK. Basically, every time I go to the UK, I go have a meetup with her as well, since she's great. So, Zoe came to visit us first, because the thing is, Atlas is... I should tell this story first. Atlas is deathly allergic to cats. Zoe has a cat. One time, the very first time that we went to go up and see her rather than Zoe coming to see us, Atlas was like, you know what, I'll take some antihistamines, I'll take some medicine with me, I'll take my inhaler with me, everything will be fine. Because typically when Atlas interacts with a cat, it's like, you know, a couple days of sniffles and that's kind of it. But not this time. This time, it turned into a hospital trip. The allergy got so bad that Zoe had to drive us to the hospital so that Atlas could get some help there to clear it up. And that was not a fun night. While it happened, in hindsight, it was really fucking funny. Funniest part about it, Zoe and I were sitting in the car with Atlas, right? Zoe was driving. Atlas was sitting in the front seat just so they had a bit more leg room. I was sitting in the back seat. And Zoe and I were just doing Hamilton karaoke while Atlas was like nearly fucking dying in the passenger seat. And we were just singing Hamilton. It was kind of fucking wild. Atlas was enjoying it, but like, Atlas was okay with it. We talked about it after the fact, like, damn, we were kind of assholes for that, weren't we? And Atlas was like, no, it was really funny. The one annoying thing is, though, because Zoe and I were going so hard at it, Zoe missed an exit, and it took us like 10 more minutes to... It took us like 10 more minutes to get to the hospital because Zoe missed an exit. So, speaking of Zoe driving, right? So Zoe would come to visit us so that Atlas wouldn't have to see the cat. And then, because I wanted to spend a bit more time with Zoe, and also because I'm working on some projects together with Zoe at the moment, at the end of the day, at about like 6 p.m., Zoe would come and kidnap me, we'd drive up to her place, I'd stay the night there, and then so that we could work on a whole bunch of shit, and then I'd go back the day after. But while Zoe was at ours, we wanted to go into town because Atlas had work that night and actually needed to be in office. So we were like, you know what, let's all go into town in the afternoon, let's just hang out there, and then when Atlas has to go to work, we'll drop them off there, and then we'll drive back, right? So, we drive into town. First of all, Zoe realizes that she's practically out of gas, so we have to scramble to find a gas station fucking somewhere, which turns into a whole ordeal that ends up with us, like, driving through multiple parts of the city aimlessly while Erica, one of Atlas's housemates, tries to direct Zoe to where to go, and it's not going well. So, we're already like 20 minutes later into town than we wanted to be. And we figured, you know what, let's go park in the IKEA car park. And let's just have a quick walk through IKEA, because that's always fun. We didn't actually get any sharks or any plushies or anything. We just went there for the experience rather than actually the aim of getting anything. I think the Atlas and their housemates wanted to get some new bowls, but we didn't even end up doing that. But the last time that we went to IKEA with the four of us, we keep doing this thing where in their car park, they have one of the, you have to go up to like different stories, and instead of it just being a ramp that takes you to the next story, it's like one of those circular ones that like slowly circles up and circles back down. And every time that we're there, for some reason, we decide to throw on Eurobeat and drift up the we're not actually drifting, but like go over that spiral upwards slightly faster than you're probably supposed to. And we all fucking lose every time. Don't worry, we're doing it safely. Zoe is a competent driver. Like, no slander or anything there. Everything was fine. No one was injured. There was a railing if something went wrong. Anyway, so we walk through the IKEA. We decide to have some fucking meatballs there. Because, you know, why not? We weren't actually gonna buy anything. We hadn't had lunch, and we made it to, like, the end of the first floor, which is where they had the restaurant, and we were all like, you know what, fuck it, let's get some meatballs, why not? So we did that, and then after that, we had to drop Atlas off at work, so we did. And then, that means we had to walk back to the IKEA, right? Now, we'd parked all the way on, like, the top floor, so we needed to get into the elevator and go all the way up, right? Now, as we get into the elevator, there's this one other guy that's in there. Like, decently tall, but not, like, insanely wide build. If I'd have to guess, like, mid-late 40s, maybe early 50s. With the three of us, with Zoe, or with the four of us, with Zoe, with me, and then Atlas's two housemates, Erica and Ariana, right? So we walk into that elevator, just completely doing our own thing, and suddenly this guy starts a conversation with us, specifically aiming his words towards Ari. Now, if you have to understand one thing here, obviously all four of us are trans women, right? All four of us were. And Ari specifically has probably the longest hair out of all of us. That dude looks at Ari and just straight up says with like a cold look in his face, "Oh, you must like rock music." What? Huh? What? But okay. And then Ari was like, yeah, I guess. One thing you have to know about Ari, most anxious person in that group. We all have like a little bit of anxiety, but Ari, by far the most out of all of us. So like, he picked the worst person to ask a question to. And he asked this question as the elevator doors close. So we're all stuck in this elevator, right? And Ari was like, I guess. And then this dude, dead ass, with, once again, cold fucking look in his face, goes, "Oh yeah, name 3 rock bands." Huh? Like, is this the fucking name a woman? Like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? that is exactly what he said. He just goes, "Name 3 rock bands." And at this point, Ari's fucking locked up. Like, her brain is somewhere else. She is practically frozen. And we're kind of all looking at each other. Zoe and I share a quick look of, I hope this guy is not gonna start shit, because if he is, we might have to do something. Because, you know, the elevator was closed, we were all in there, and typically when someone starts a conversation with you, it can either be just genuinely out of interest, but how this guy was looking and how he was carrying himself, that could have very easily turned into an assault. Luckily, we were with 4 people. Zoe did MMA in the past. Erica is quite like a wide build as well. I'm fucking weak. Ari is weaker. I guess the only advantage I have on those 3 is that they're estrogenized and I'm not. So I still have a decent amount of muscle mass of whatever the fuck there is. But like, we share a quick look with each other, like, you know, take your hands out of your pockets and just, like, pay attention, you know? And then the thing is, so while this elevator is going up, this dude keeps talking to Ari like, oh, come on, name some, and then he starts naming some himself. But then, when the elevator reaches the floor that he has to get out, we have to go up one more, so we have to stay in the elevator, right? When the elevator has to, go up, instead of getting out of the elevator on his floor and just letting the door close, when the door attempts to close, he holds it open. And he keeps talking. And he keeps going, name 3 rock bands. Right? Keeps doing it. And then Erica decides to hop in with a save, and the funniest fucking thing happens, because Erica says, oh, I'm more of a metal person rather than rock. And then, as the doors are closing, he actually starts backing away, he took the hint, but as the doors are closing, you can just hear him shout, oh, metal, the worst fucking concert I've ever been to was Iron fucking Maiden, and then the doors close. And we all just fucking lose it. Because that dude was obviously on something, like, I don't know if it was alcohol, I don't know if he was high, I don't know if he was on meth, I have no fucking idea. But just the way that he said it with, like, I can't fucking emulate the British accent well enough. The way that he said that was so fucking funny. And we get out of the elevator on our floor, Ari is practically crying, because she is not the type of person to be able to handle that, and fair enough. I would have not done well either if he'd spoken to me directly, though I probably would have tried to just play it off. And then, you know, we get in the car, we put Eurobeat back on as we drift back down the fucking IKEA spiral and drive back. That's fucking wild, man. Just the worst concert I've ever been to is Iron fucking Maiden. Oh, man. And, you know, that's just the type of shit that only happens if you go out to IKEA with 5 trans people and stay in an elevator, I guess. Only in the UK. Only British people. Literally nowhere else. Only British people do that. Ugh. And then, yeah, after that, we hung out at the flat for a bit, and then Zoe kidnapped me and took me to her place for a night so that I could work on stuff for her. To be fair, we ended up mostly just, the night, we ended up mostly just watching. God, what the fuck did we watch again? I completely forgot. We watched some stupid shit. I think we were watching an Alpharad video. Oh, fuck, we watched Alpharad's Copy Pasta Theater, now I remember. Oh, yeah, it could have been way worse. At least it wasn't someone who actually, like, beat us up or started anything. He looked like he wanted to, but, like, it was 4 against 1, you know? Yeah, you're not gonna win that. Even if the 4 people are weak, like, we would have been fine if anything happened. But I was scared for a moment, I will admit. But yeah, so then Zoe took me back with her. Ended up working on a whole bunch of stuff for her, which is far from done. That is going to take me a while. I'm going to ask her if it's okay to work on some of that stuff on stream at some point, because I have been teaching 2 other VTubers recently. Sorry for the fucking breathing into my mic. I've been teaching 2 other VTubers recently how to do vocal mixing and just how to get better at it, even though, like, I've only started learning it at most half a year ago, right? But I pick things up relatively quickly, and I try to... I'm good at Googling, which automatically makes me good at everything. So I've been like helping some other VTubers with it, and usually like we don't really have time for VCs, so what I do instead is I record a short video on how to do something, just like a quick screen share with a mic voiceover, just recorded in real time, not edited or anything. And they keep telling me, you should like turn this into a video or do this on stream. So I think I'm gonna ask for permission to see if I can do something like that on a stream, because I think that would be really fun. I think that would be really fun. Because I want to become a bit more of a music creator rather than just a gaming creator. Because I only do like, of course I upload piano covers. Oh, by the way, one thing, important thing. You guys may remember that right before I went on vacation, I recorded a Destiny-centric piano cover. And the plan was to upload that at some point during my vacation. Something came up. I'm not really able to say what yet. But I have some other plans for that I will share with you in the future. But those plans basically have prevented me from uploading that cover right now. Meaning I will upload it later. I will upload it at some point later, expected around the time of Final Shape's launch. All right? So don't worry too much about that. Speaking of which, I completely forgot. Hi, Cthulhu, welcome in. I completely forgot, it's a new month. I have subs to give away, or memberships to give away. Let's give away 5 memberships, shall we? I'll give away another 5 during the Honkai stream in 25 minutes when we're watching the concert. All right, please go to actually different fucking people this time. I beg of you. Oh wow, that was instant. Are you kidding me? That's 2 people who've already had it before. 3 people who've already had it before. Why do you always get one? How? How do you always fucking get it? You are so lucky. I think that's 3 or 4 people who have already had the membership before. You know what? Fuck it. I'll roll the other 5. Roll the gotcha again, baby. Fuck it. Who? Okay, that's 2 new people, 3 new people, 4 new people, 5 new people. Cool. I don't think I've ever seen any one of them in a stream chat, but hey. Welcome in. If you are watching this, or if you are watching any videos, thank you very much. I appreciate it. If only my gotcha luck was this good. Yeah, you're losing your next 50-50 because of this. I'm sorry. This was your 50-50. You've just won this one. You're losing the next one. I do apologize. I don't make the rules, sadly. Oh, man. Oh, speaking of fucking gaming, Atlas and I went to an arcade. There's an arcade in the place where Atlas lives. There's also a bowling alley there. 2 fun things happen there. First of all, when we were actually in this arcade, here's a little secret about me. When you're playing games in person with me, I get incredibly fucking competitive. Like, we're talking really, really fucking bad. Not to the point where I'm like actually insulting anyone or getting angry at anyone, but like I'm competitive, you know? So we enter this arcade, mostly kids. And there's a couple of games that have leaderboards. Now, one game specifically caught my attention. It was a piano tiles game. Now, this piano tiles game works a little bit differently. If you've ever played piano tiles on your phone, very simple. You have 4 columns of notes, and they fall down, and you have to hit the correct one, and if you hit the wrong one, you have to restart. It's a high-score game, just seeing how far you can get, right? Now, this one worked a little differently because the notes weren't constantly scrolling down. It just moved to the next note whenever you hit one. And that was it. And instead, your fail condition was a timer. There was like a 30, 40-second timer, and you had to just get as many notes as possible. And they were like physical big buttons, right? They weren't small buttons, or it wasn't a touchscreen. They were like physical big buttons, like the size of like, what's a comparable size? The size of like, if you spread your hand out entirely, that was like the width of the button that you had to press. And we put a coin in, we put a token in. Instantly, I got second place. And I wasn't trying because I didn't know that it was timed. I just thought that it was, oh, just don't miss a note. Just don't accidentally hit the wrong one, which didn't really make sense to me because it was really easy not to do that. And then when I figured out it was timed and that I somehow already got second on the leaderboard, I was like, okay. That is way too quiet. I do apologize. I had to change a lot of the volumes because I have new headphones. I should have turned that one up slightly. Give me a second. Give me a second and I'll do that. Soundboard. Turn that up to like 13 maybe? How about now? That's much better. Ba-ba-ba-bum. So, I put in another token. Absolutely smashed it. Like, easily fucking smashed it. And then I did it again. And then I smashed it again. The top 3 scores and the 5th score on that leaderboard ended up being mine. I took 4 out of the top 5 scores on that leaderboard. And I'm proud of it, goddammit. Fuck them kids. Back to regular music we go. I'm the fucking queen of the castle. But, okay, so when we were there at the arcade, we had initially planned to just, like, spend an hour or two at the arcade, both put in 10 bucks, see how much fun we could get out of that. But that arcade also had a bowling alley. It was Saturday, I think. I think it was Saturday or Sunday, so it was a pretty busy day. And we went in the afternoon, but we were like, you know what? Let's go ask if any lanes are free in, like, the next hour, right? So, we go do that, and we ask, hey, anywhere we can go? And they said, yep, there's a lane free in 30 minutes, so we waited for a little bit. We played Mario Kart. By the way, there's this fucking arcade version of Mario Kart. It's developed by fucking Namco. Not really by Nintendo. Nintendo, I think, has just licensed it. Namco developed it. But, like, completely original tracks and original music and even some characters that aren't in Mario Kart 8. And, like, some of them, we saw 3. We only played 1 ourselves. But there was, like, a couple other ones that we saw other people play. Genuinely looked incredible. And I don't know if Namco holds the rights to those, or if Nintendo does, because in my view, Nintendo should, right? Because Mario Kart is an IP that belongs to Nintendo. They licensed it out to Namco to make those. But it still belongs to them, right? And I'm like, fuck, dude. These tracks genuinely need to be ported over to an actual console Mario Kart. Because they were bangers. They were legitimately really fucking good. There was a Namco Stadium, which had a bunch of fucking Namco characters and, like, from Namco games and all that. Like, please, anyone at Nintendo, if you actually remember that the arcade version of Mario Kart exists, port some of those tracks over. I beg, dude. Also, yeah, we were horrifically competitive. We ended up finishing within, like, half a second of each other, me just in front of Atlas. It was so close. It was so fucking close. Really fun, though. But so, after that, after we played Mario Kart, we actually went bowling. We were gonna do 2 games. Now, here's the thing about bowling. I've done it a couple times. Not a lot, but like, it was something that we did with our family every once in a while. Yeah, the fucking Taiko drum guy was a playable character. Pac-Man was a playable character. It's fucking wild. Just a bunch of Namco characters that were also playable, on top of the usual Mario Kart roster. That would probably be a bit harder for Nintendo to do. But, hey, who knows? But, so we went to go bowling. And the thing about bowling is I've done it a couple times. I've done it like a decent amount of times with family. Specifically when I was younger, hadn't done it in quite a while. Basically, since lockdown started, it had been a couple of years since I'd done it. Atlas had only done it like twice. Luckily, this bowling lane offered barriers. Now, if you've ever gone bowling, you know that in a lot of bowling lanes, they have barriers that will come up next to the gutter, right? That if you have any kids with you that also want to bowl, but they keep rolling into the gutter, and put those barriers up, and it becomes a little bit easier, so they'll actually get points, you know? Because otherwise, it's gonna be really fucking sad. So Atlas was like, "Can I please play with barriers?" And I was like, "Sure, you can play with barriers." And I played without. First go was me, and I rolled a spare, which I was not fucking expecting. My accuracy was somehow pretty good, and it may have been luck. I didn't know that at that point yet, if it was luck or not, but immediate spare. Then Atlas goes. Barriers come up. Atlas grabs the, like, lightest ball from the thing that rolls all the balls out. Aims back. Throws it. And it goes, like, between the barriers 5 or 6 fucking times, like, ding, 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 ding. Strike. Motherfucker. So, immediately, as soon as that happened, I went back into the fucking menu, and I turned the barriers off for Atlas. However, I think doing that may have broken the fucking software, because the barriers didn't go down. They didn't even go down for me. They just stayed up the whole time. And the problem is, right, I've done bowling a couple more times, mostly without barriers. So I try to aim for the center, but I'm usually just the slightest bit off, meaning that it curves off to the side and only hits like 3 pins. But when you're on barriers, that's a horrible strat, because that means that if you don't actually hit the sides, you're just gonna roll off to the side and hit those 3 pins. If you're with barriers, just like, toss it fucking sideways, who cares? Because then it'll bounce around, and it'll zigzag, and it'll, like, hit the pins from the side and get a shitload. So Atlas ended up beating me at both of the games. But the barriers never went down, and I think we broke it. They ended up going down somewhere in the middle of the second game, but at that point, I just wanted to keep the barriers. So I turned them back on. But for, like, the entirety of the first game and half of the second game, they never went back down. They ended up staying up the whole time. So I think my rage, my classic gamer rage may have broken the bowling alley. So if anyone from Hollywood Bowl is watching the stream right now, if you had to deal with broken barriers on, I think it was lane 13 or lane 14 at a bowling alley somewhere in the south of England, I apologize profusely. If you have any complaints, you may send them to my donation feed. There's a link in the link down below. You can donate money, and you can attach messages to that. So if you have any complaints, please submit them there, and I will be sure to look at them. Okay? Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. I think I maybe just suck at bowling. I mean, you beat me both times. So like, hey, the barriers, I used them too. So yeah, pay me to complain, exactly. Don't fucking complain for, nothing's free in this capitalist world. You scumbag. I don't know why I censored the word scum there. Because that makes it sound like I just said bag. I don't know. I'm stupid. Teehee. Okay, I have to fill 10 more minutes of time. Somehow. By the way, remember chat. In 10 minutes, we're gonna be watching the Honkai Star Rail concert. I have not watched it yet. I have been saving my Honkai Star Rail concert virginity until this very moment. Talk about, oh my god, you're right. How did I fucking forget? I met Jacksepticeye, guys. I need to fucking find the image, hold up. You guys are only gonna get the edited version of the image and not the original one. Because fuck you, that's why. So, Atlas and I went out to London last week. It's a week ago now. To see, the Stardew concert. Stardew has had an orchestra that has been touring around for a couple of weeks now, and they were coming to London, and we were like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll go see it. Atlas managed to get tickets to it. Incredible fucking chance even that we had that we even got them, because this is what the conductor told us, right? The conductor during the concert, in between songs, would keep turning to the audience with the biggest fucking grin on his face. He was really funny. At one point during the concert, he was like, "You're all very lucky because we ended up having to add a second show to the London part of the tour because this show sold out in 4 minutes." Which is true. The show sold out immediately. The fact that Atlas even got tickets is beyond me. Baffling. But we did. But he said, and I quote, "This concert sold out in 4 minutes. Who needs Taylor Swift?" Fucking shots fired. The entire audience started applauding. This was like 3 days after Taylor Swift had dropped her new album. This is like a couple days after Taylor Swift had dropped her new album. And it's just the fact that you have to imagine, this was like, if I have to guess, mid-late 50s. This guy was like definitely in his 50s, maybe even in his 60s. And he was cracking jokes left and right that actually resonated with the entire audience of queer neurodivergent 20-year-olds. Because it's the Stardew concert. Of course it's all queer, anxious, neurodivergent 20, 30-year-olds, right? But at this concert, because it was in London, I sometimes forget that people that you've looked up to for a big part of your life actually exist. Because while we were at that concert, I've edited my VTuber model over my actual face, but look who I met. He was just there. Jacksepticeye was just there. Just chilling. He was going to that concert just as everyone else. So that was kind of insane, because I'll admit I haven't watched that much of Jacksepticeye the last like couple of years, but to say that his content defined my teenage years is a fucking understatement, dude. I watched his videos daily. Like, he uploaded like 1 or 2 videos a day for the longest time. I was there. Every single one I would watch. For years. Literal years. and to just run into him, is it bad that my reaction was, who the fuck is this guy? No, a lot of people had that reaction, mainly because Jack looks so different now from how he used to. Like, motherfucker has long hair now. Like, a lot of people haven't seen him with long hair. Like, compare that and then look up any pictures of Jacksepticeye, and, like, there's a massive difference. But yeah, the fact that he was just there is insane to me. But on the other hand, it just makes sense, because, you know, it's a video game concert. It's a video game that, to the best of my knowledge, his girlfriend is a big fan of, who was also there. That he was there with his partner and a couple of friends, from what I could see. So yeah, like, I mean, it makes sense, right? He lives somewhere in the London area, and that's the thing that he wanted to go to. So, duh. But this is wild to just run into, and I think I was one of the first people who spotted it as well, because Atlas and I we'd handed in our tickets, and someone, there was like this entrance hall. Oops, sorry, I hit my mic. There was this entrance hall where you could wait and buy merch, and you had to wait like an hour before you were actually allowed into the theater. So we were just sitting there. It was quite crowded with a lot of people, and then I see someone walk past that door, and I immediately turn to Atlas and go, holy shit, that's Jacksepticeye. And Atlas, like, does a double take and goes, oh my god, you're right. And the thing is, I didn't initially want to go up to him to take a picture, because here's the thing. As much as that guy literally defines part of my childhood, I am in the spot where you met Jacksepticeye in real life? Yeah, hold up, let me pull up the picture again. There it is. I obviously put my model over my own face, but like, yeah, there he is. That was last week. Just randomly in London. But when I see like a celebrity or an influencer or whatever, I am always very careful, because he was out there with his girlfriend and with some friends just on a night out, and I don't the last thing that like, creators can go two different ways. Some creators love it when fans go up to them, no matter what the circumstances are. But some creators are, like, really wanting to separate, their content life from their personal life. And they don't want, every time they go out in public, to just do random things, to be, constantly being swarmed by fans and asked about content and all that kind of stuff, right? So I tend to stay away unless there is an actual indication that it is okay to go up to them. Because I want to be respectful. As much as I would have loved to just immediately go up to him and ask him a bunch of questions, I know that that's not right. And I truly do urge everyone else to adopt a similar thing. If you see a creator that you really, really look up to out in public, unless there is an indication that it is okay to go up to them, you probably shouldn't. And just let that person be, right? So that was initially what I was gonna do, as sad as I was about it. But obviously, we were at the fucking Stardew Valley concert. Do you really think that I was gonna be the only person in that entire venue to recognize him? Of course not. Everyone fucking recognized him. Like, there's a decent chance that at least 40% of that room grew up watching his stuff just as much as I did, right? So, other people started going up to him, and then at some point I was like, you know what? Other people are already doing it. He seems to be having a great time. He was genuinely, like, enjoying talking to people, chatting to people, and I was like, I gotta take the chance. So I also went up to him and I initially said, you know what, I don't want to take a picture because I don't want to be too bothersome. To which he responded, and I quote, "Ah, come on, take a picture, otherwise who's going to believe you?" And he has a fucking point, so I did. And then, even funnier, when we actually ended up going into the theater, he was literally 2 rows behind us. Like, in arm's reach of where we were sitting, which was really funny. Anyway, I'll chat more about everything that I got up to at some other time, but we have a concert to watch. Now, I'm specifically going to be doing this on a separate stream. Oh god, all the alerts are gonna come through now, huh? Yeah, I'm specifically going to be doing this on a separate stream, because... Yeah, I'm just gonna turn that off for a little bit. I'm gonna be doing this on a separate stream because I want the VOD to be saved separately, rather than, oh my god, the alerts and the, okay, whatever. I'll just let him run for a bit. I want the VOD to be saved separately. So, the stream is going to cut off, and we're gonna be hopping to the new chat. You will all be redirected if you are on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, you don't have to go anywhere else. Everything will just be fine. So yeah, I will see you all there in just a couple of seconds. So, sit tight.